What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to Let's Get to the Facts podcast. I'm your host, Doss, my man, Coach Shot. And look, we got a lot to talk about this week. There's a lot that transpired, but we got a lot to talk about. So, how you feeling today, Coach?
I'm good. I'm good. Let's get it. Let's go.
Okay. So, we're gonna jump right into it. Cleveland Browns, man. Cleveland Browns. And the saga continues, man. Like these dudes just can't get out of their own way. The defense looked terrible. Actually, I'm not going to even say the defense looked terrible. Here's my takeaway from this week's game. My takeaway from this week's game is this: the kicker sucked the energy out of the team. It was the kicker, solely the kicker, only the kicker, because you had a chance to tie the game up and had them dudes up on their heels. And when they realized that the kicker couldn't kick for shit, Pittsburgh got confident. Because that game should have easily been 13-13 going into halftime. And because this dude just kept missing them kicks, the team was like, man, this is some bullshit. Why we keep doing this? We ain't gonna like what's the point of even doing this anymore? We get them in position, they can't kick. Man, the dude can't kick, he can't keep us in the game. I'm not gonna keep going out there and doing this shit for nothing. So that was what my take was, Coach. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, the running game is still shitty. I don't even think Nick Chubb has put up 100 yards yet since he's been back. Ford is trying to do a little something, but I'm still just not big on Ford. But it just looks bad, and then it's easier for teams to key onto Jameis Winston and to force him in the interceptions because the man is throwing 50, 60 times a game because the running game is obsolete. Like, it's literally terrible. And that in itself, man, is just bad. I can't really put it on the Browns defense. I mean, I can, because towards the end of the game, them dudes were just letting, like, that long touchdown pass to Fryer move. I was like, man, you got to be kidding me. So I just this is a bad taste in my mouth, man. Just a bad taste in my mouth. So, what's your take, Coach? Like, what was your thoughts on this one?
I mean, I really, as far as like, my expectations was already not. I didn't go in here thinking we was gonna win. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Right.
I had my Browns, but I know it was in Pittsburgh. I know like JJ Watt was going to try to be JJ Watt, even though it happened for like one play, and then he got.
Wait, we mean TJ.
Yeah, TJ.
Yeah.
TJ tried to do his thing, but I only seen him make one good play. That was the tackle for the loss in the very opening series, and after that, I didn't see too much of him.
Yeah, and he got hurt. I saw it, like he was limping off on the sideline for a part of the game. So yeah,
but he came back. He came back on. So I mean, I expected the Browns to play the corners to play a lot better, especially with Pickens not in the game.
Right.
They did for like, I ain't gonna lie, probably like all of the first quarter,
okay,
a little bit of the second, and then towards the end of the second, it got, that's when it started getting bad.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, who else? Miles, this game, I seen some triple teams, seen some double teams.
Yeah.
I ain't seen no singles.
Yeah, they stayed on him a lot this one because he was eating Russell Wilson up in that winter game. So that I knew they was gonna focus on that one because he got off in that game, and then after he talked all that trash at the end of the game, they was gonna have a plan for him for this one.
But also, I didn't see, this is one of the things I didn't see they do defensively. They didn't move him and Obo around. Like, Miles stayed on one side of the field.
Yeah,
it was always against the whoever that tackle is, the young guy who they went against Miles went against the last time.
Right.
But this time they brought help, and it was like continuous help.
Okay.
So you know what I'm saying. So that means to me, if that's happening, if it's 3-on-1, somebody ain't winning. They that means the rest of y'all ain't winning y'all 1-on-1s.
Or not even trying.
Yeah, that's
Because
bad.
that ain't looking right. That ain't sounding right. You backers aren't hitting your gaps, ain't blitzing when you supposed to be blitzing. Something isn't falling right, because that in itself, man, it was just like, come on, man, this is not good at all. Like, what is going on? If Miles is being double teamed, where's everybody else? Because see, you got rid of Zadarius Smith. It's time for somebody else to step up in that area, because that was a big loss. So obviously they felt like that. What's his name? Alex, the one kid, 91.
Alex Smith, he injured. He was injured before that trade even happened. He was done before that trade even happened. Yeah.
So whoever else they got going on, man, it's just not happening.
Well,
my cousin says this problem with the defense couldn't stop no one. Oh yeah, and there was no Pickens. You already said that though, Coach.
Yeah.
My thing is that they can't stop Warren. I've seen Warren for a couple of years now. And they cannot stop that man for whatever reason. He runs harder than
Najee.
Than Najee Harris. He runs harder than Najee Harris. Like, truth be told, Warren could go to another team and be a starter easy.
Yes, definitely.
Right.
They're gonna have to make a decision at some point between both of them.
Right. Yeah. It was just, I don't know, man. It's just like the DBs. I don't know what the hell's up with Emerson. Emerson went from and we've been talking about him for the last couple of weeks now. You went from potential to tradable, like a 7th round pick tradable, conditional pick tradable. Like, I don't understand how that happens. Maybe his morale is just down. I don't know, but whatever it is, he's not getting the job done. He getting beat by seconds, thirds, fourths, ones. It don't matter who they put out there. He just getting it handed to him.
I think I remember like last offseason, I was like, oh yeah, he have a good season, he gonna get that check. The Browns gonna have to make a decision. Him and Newsom, who they gonna keep, yada yada yada. Man, now it's like, you ain't, if you gonna trade him, you definitely gonna want more than the 7th because of the body of work from the previous 2 years.
True.
Just, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, this has been a horrible season for a dude, coming up on a contract year.
It has. It has definitely been a terrible year. And it just like it, I don't know, man. It just I hate when I see professional players quit. Like, you guys get paid to do this. Like, if I'm a GM and I see you guys quit, I'm deducting your check. You should be going hard, playing hard, because you're still getting paid. It's your job. When it's all said and done, it's your job. You don't get to just quit on your shift. Like, I'm sorry, man. That don't work for me. That don't work for me at all. At all. So
I get it.
I don't know, man. It's just, to me, it's frustrating, man, because it's like we do this shit year after year after year after year. And it's just like, it's bad when we at week 3 we already talk about, all right, well, we'll see next year. And it's crazy because now it's like my cousin said, fuck them. He's talking about the Browns.
I mean, hey, listen, I agree with him because at this point, it is what it is. Like how you said, like early in the season, we knew what it was. Yeah. So at that point in time, like my expectations was like, okay, I'm just watching this just for sheer entertainment now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just watching this to see if I can see anything that like okay, what we got in maybe a Cedric Tillman or a James Thrash or any of those young people. You know what I'm saying?
Where's Tillman
Other
been
than
the last 2 weeks?
that man got a concussion.
When did he get a concussion?
I think it was that game where he caught the ball and got hit and got popped in the air and got hit in the air and caught and was fumbled the ball. I forgot what
Man,
game
that
that was.
was the early part of the Steelers game, wasn't it? Before the snow came. Or was it the game before, or was it the Chargers game?
No, I don't know, coach, but whatever game he been gone, he had a concussion.
Well, I like whoever this other kid is, that Mikey kid or whatever they're calling him,
Oh,
number
Mike
81.
Woods.
Yeah, I like him.
Man, listen, I've been like Mike Woods. This is Mike Woods' third year with the Browns.
I've never even seen him before.
Because this is why. First year, he was a rookie. He ain't get no playing time, really. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Second year in the he tore his Achilles early in the season. So boom, he was out the whole season. And then now he came back. They, you know what I'm saying? They had him. He's on the roster, practice squad cut, bring back type deal. And he just sticking around and he came out and played. Like he from out of I think he's from out of OSU, Oklahoma State.
Okay.
Good receiver. I liked him from when the Browns drafted him. It's just he just never got a chance to really be on the field up until now.
And then we got Kadarius Toney. I don't know if I like him or if I don't. I know what his his potential was in college. I know since he got to the NFL, he had one good season, but he's been kind of a clown since then.
He has playmaking ability, like coach. I've seen it.
Yeah.
On the punt returns, he has the ability, but then he also, you gotta be like every time you put him in, you expect him to do something that's gonna cost you. Like first it was the personal foul for taunting, even though he wasn't taunting. Then this dude comes back and then drops the punt, and the dude that he was taunting recovers the punt.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
He covers the punt right in his face.
So it's like he flashes it, but then at the same time, it's like you gotta know he's gonna give you one fuck up.
Yeah.
Can you deal with it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. My cousin said he lost his hope for the Browns when they kept Deshaun Watson in the game we were in. And if it was, if we what does that say? If we made a change, different season. So it might have been one of them games when Deshaun Watson was playing like crap and everybody was talking about why isn't Jameis Winston going in? I think they put in DCR in that game that he ended up getting knocked out also. So I don't remember what game that was, but I know they played terrible that game. But just, you already know how I feel with Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson's been terrible for a long time. And even I think it was Troy Aikman that said it was like Deshaun Watson is the albatross around Cleveland's neck right now. It's like,
ain't no lies being told, man. Like me personally, I'm you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say I'm not a fan. I'm not gonna say I am a fan. I'm in the neutral spot. I just want, you know what I'm saying? I want him to, kind of want him to prove people wrong, but at the same time, he out here just proving people right.
Your time is up for me. You don't get to prove nothing wrong anymore. Your time is over.
No, I mean, like not necessarily with the Browns. You know what I'm saying? Like he might have a shot somewhere else.
Oh, I don't give a shit then. As long as you don't go to Seattle. As long as you don't go to Seattle, I'm good wherever the hell you land. Just don't land in Seattle and get out of Cleveland. After that, I can care less about what happens with him.
Just for that he ain't gonna go to Seattle.
Hell no. Hell no. Hey, look.
Just for that he gonna go to Seattle.
Man, don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm about to go tell the Shine like, yo, go to the 12 man.
Not at all, man. We do not want that at all.
Yeah, man.
Hell no. All right, coach, let's get into the next topic. So Jameis Winston's woes continues. So, man, I like Jameis Winston. I like Jameis Winston a lot, but these interceptions this dude be throwing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna okay. So the first one to the lineman on that screenplay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, dude, you know just from coaching with me and shit, coach, the screenplay don't ever go on a line drive. It never goes on. It's always a dump up because you want it to drop in your hands of your running back so it doesn't get picked. If you trying to throw, you got too many people rushing in, hands up, bat the ball, easy interception. That's not how that goes, man, at all. And for whatever reason, he just threw that shit right to that lineman. And I'm like, you, Jameis, for real. Like, and that you dude, you could have just threw the shit to the ground and lived to play another day.
True.
Now that second interception,
yeah,
that second interception, Elijah Moore's fault. Elijah Moore's fault 150,000%. There's no way. One, he wasn't running his fastest. That ball was in a gap where he could have caught that ball. Had he put 2 more steps on his speed, if he would have ran seriously, forget that trying to make the one hand catch. If you would have ran faster, you would have caught that bitch with 2 hands in stride. You probably would have ran into the guy and fell over, or you could probably would have jumped over his ass, depending on how your reflections would have been, or your reactions, I mean. And you turned around and just tried to stretch it out to make it seem like you was making a play. I know, man. I played receiver when I was in high school and shit. And there's plays where I was just dogging it, and I would see the ball coming over the middle. And there's sometimes where I'm like, oh, I'm about to go get this shit. And then there were times where I was just like, I just don't feel like it right now. Like, this motherfucker making me run a little too goddamn much right now. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to even lie. Like, that was mainly like shit in practice, but it was still the fact. You know what I'm saying? And our practices in high school, we used to kill each other. Even in college, it kind of went like that. But even in high school, we tried to kill each other. But that was our love. That's what made us so great. So there were times like when you didn't want to go for that ball, you went for that ball. Game time, you already knew it don't matter what the deal is. You're going for that ball. But in practice, there was times I dogged it just like that. But this motherfucker did it in the game. In the game. Unacceptable, man. Unacceptable.
Yeah, I agree with you.
you like, I ain't got nothing else to say about it.
I mean, for me, like dealing with Jameis, like I'm not even gonna lie, like I'm like it is what it is. And I looked at a stat. That for the same amount of games that he's been the Browns quarterback, and the same amount that Flacco was the Browns quarterback, Jameis got 1 more touchdown than Flacco. They both got the same amount of interceptions.
That's crazy.
The only difference is between Flacco and Jameis, Flacco threw way more pick sixes than Jameis. Jameis threw way more pick sixes.
I was about to say, yeah.
That's the big difference. That's why people ain't looking at it like or feel about it the same way or whatever. But when you look at the stat line, they had the same amount, like except for Jameis I think he got 13 touchdowns and Flacco got 12 touchdowns. They both got 8 interceptions.
And that's crazy. The thing with Jameis last week against Denver, that man played an amazing game against Denver. But them pick sixes, it was like the first one, like I personally hate the out route. I hate a lot of the sideline routes that is if it's not going deep because it's a timing thing. And you and your receivers got to be on the same page. You saw him and Judy were on the same page. But it was when he was not going to Judy is when those passes got picked. Because his timing has to be off with everybody else. Because like now that kid Woods, he played in that game. But it was when he was going to Moore is when they were jumping his ass. Either because they knew Moore was running lazy ass routes, or because they knew that the type of routes he was going to run, it was easy to jump. Yeah. And that's what he did because I don't know, man. Like you don't have a 500-yard pass game like that. Turn around and then still lose the game because you throwing interceptions. Like it's nothing. That shit just don't make sense. Jerry Jeudy had almost 300 yards receiving.
Mm-hmm.
That should end in a victory.
Yes, in a correct and most perfect world, yes. One, it's the Cleveland Browns world, so it shouldn't. Two, I still got y'all still got to remember, Jameis was the 30 for 30 man. You know what I'm saying? Like 30 touchdowns, 30 picks. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Yeah.
I, I go into a game with that Jameis is our quarterback, knowing that he's going to throw two to three interceptions. I just hope that out of those two to three, that none of them are pick sixes. I could take the ones where you just throw an interception, they tackle you, or they down you. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Especially if I see what you was, you know what I'm saying, what you were seeing.
Right.
Boom, I'm okay with that. But the pick sixes, yeah, I'm like, come on, my dudes, you gotta get those together. But at the same time, I don't. I go in there to like now when I watch the Browns and James, I just go in there to watch a game. Like I don't expect nothing. I just want to see what they do, who they
Right.
throwing the ball to, whatever. Because I know like some coaches ain't gonna be back. Some of them players ain't gonna be back. To me, it's
Yeah.
like watching a preseason game right now. I
Are
don't
we in
really
full
expect.
reset mode?
Nah,
You don't think so?
nah, nah. Head coach, GM will be back. Uh, some of them offensive linemen, they gonna try to get some tackles in there. Like Jed Wills is done.
Yeah.
Um, they gonna get them some D linemen, some linebackers. I don't know if there's any corners out there worth getting rid of the ones that we have for.
They say that
Um,
what's his name might be up this year. Diggs from Cowboys. Would you make a play for him? Hey, my boy Rasheen
nah.
Ali. Hey, Coach Rasheen Ali is watching us. What's up, boy? I saw
What
you
up,
against
Ali?
Baltimore. Saw you against Baltimore. You was looking good out there. I know that first hit on that kick return though was like, "Welcome to the NFL, boy." Hey, I saw you. I jumped for you, man. But I'm glad you tuning in and checking us out.
What's up, Ali?
Yes, sir. That's one of our own right there, Baltimore Raven player.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, man. So you don't think we in full reset mode?
No, I don't think so. Like I said, Stefanski will be back. Uh, defensively, I think the DC might get a head coaching job somewhere else.
I don't think he's gonna get one after
Um,
this year.
man, I think so because some of them other coaches were straight bumps. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I think he
Yeah,
still got a shot versus some of them other guys that got let go this year. Like they those guys should never even got jobs if you ask me.
yeah. I mean,
But
Jim Schwartz,
you know
don't
what I'm
get it
saying?
twisted. He a legit coach. He definitely a legit
Yeah,
coach. But my
that's
thing is that man, just he is the defense has been mad inconsistent this year. And you still the same person had them same players last year. So what changed? What happened? What's wrong?
I think I don't know if it's him or so. My question is this: then is it him or the players got inconsistent this year?
It could be.
Because
It could be both. Truthfully, it could really be both.
some of them have been more inconsistent, and then you got some of the you got some of them in like you think about it like in a defensive in your linebacker unit, you have nobody other than JOK that came back.
Right.
And that was like a full time starter. Yes, you had Diabate who played a little bit, but you got nobody else was back there that was, you know what I'm saying? You lost Taki, you lost Anthony Walker, you lost, you know what I'm saying, like
And then we
some
lost
other guys.
JOK through the season too.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So, you know what I'm saying? That and then defensive line just, you know, didn't do what they did last year.
that's true. 'Cause, I mean, you got to think about it. Like, 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 you got to think about it All right, well, let's go ahead and move it on to the next one because this is going to be an interesting topic. Who you got going to the Super Bowl?
Oh shit!
Hey, hold on real quick. Hey, Ali, since you on here, are y'all gonna go to the Super Bowl? I think y'all got a tough chance. I mean, a strong chance of doing it, man. What y'all think?
You know he gonna say they going, man. They going, man.
Hey, man, but Baltimore got a serious chance, though.
Yeah.
Baltimore got a serious chance of going. I think between them, the four right now, this is the four that's going to be battling: Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Kansas City, Buffalo. Now, them three teams all got a chance to knock off Kansas City. Buffalo already did it. My problem is that when Baltimore faces Kansas City, they always change their game plan up. They don't ever stick to what it is they do that got them to that situation. Now, Buffalo, they playing with mad confidence right now, even though they lost a game yesterday. Their defense was sleeping yesterday, but Josh Allen is,
them points that both teams put up, both defenses.
Yeah. But I mean, Josh Allen and them got a chance. They know that they can't have games like they had yesterday and slip up because those losses knock you down, and you got to be able to maintain those. I honestly did not see Kansas City being the juggernaut that they are this year. With Travis Kelce playing as terrible as he is this year, you lost. God, what's the running back? I can't.
What's his name? Pacheco.
Yeah. With them losing him. Now Kareem Hunt came in and was like, I'm back home. I'm about to make the most of this. Oh, yeah. Kareem doing his thing. So I don't know, man. Like I did not see them being the juggernaut that they were. And I'm tired. Like the last 5 games I've seen that they've been on or a highlight, I don't know how the hell Patrick Mahomes always ends up with the ball in his hand and he runs for like 30, 40-yard runs to put them in field goal winning situations.
It's the script.
Man.
Nah. But no, it's for real. Like I did, as far as them, when I see what they did in the draft and they keep on adding like weapons in the receiving core for him and trying to make sure he has what he needs, and they know that Kelce is up there or whatever at the same time. So they add more receivers and they still using Kelce out there. He still he still could do some shit out there. So at the end of the day, like I knew what it was. And then as far as they defensively, that was the one spot, but I knew if Chris Jones was going to be Chris Jones as how he's being Chris Jones this season, everything else was going to have to, was going to be taken care of because you get that rush from the defensive line.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now your corners don't have to cover as long.
Right.
Now your linebackers, you know what I'm saying, don't have to, they can read off of the D tackle, getting that push upfield. That's easy tackles in the backfield.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So Chris Jones is doing it. So I kind of knew what I was going to get out of them. You know what I'm saying? Even down to Baltimore. Like, I just didn't know. Honestly, the team that I didn't know what I was going to get out of that you just named is Buffalo, because losing Stephon Diggs, I thought was going to be a big loss, but I see what that allowed the quarterback to do, which is now I don't have to get the ball I can spread the ball out. I don't have to get the ball to you because you're my diva receiver. No, I can get it to whoever and whoever I want, whoever's open, and then I don't have to get cussed out no more. That shit's done.
Yeah. I ain't got to deal with your temper tantrums in the locker room and on the sideline and all of that other craziness. So yeah, I definitely get it. My thing is Buffalo has always been a contender. They keep getting in that situation. My thing is what's gonna push y'all over the top? What's gonna push y'all over the top? Now, Pittsburgh is the team that's interesting because from the next 4 games that they got, Philly, I think if I'm not mistaken, it's Philly, Baltimore, Kansas City,
Mm-hmm.
and it might be Detroit. It might be Detroit. So, dude, you talking about the top teams in the game? Oh
You
no,
said
it's
who?
not Detroit. It's Buffalo. They got to. I
Who?
think they got to play Buffalo.
Who you talking about? Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh's last 4 games:
Okay.
Philly, Kansas City, Baltimore. That 4th team is either Buffalo or Detroit.
No, the 4th team is the Bengals. They played the
Oh
Bengals
yeah,
last
it is
on
playing
January
the Bengals.
5th.
I thought they played the Bengals twice. So okay.
Yeah.
So that's 3 out of the top teams right now that you guys got to face.
Yep. So the order is Philly, Ravens, Kansas City, and then the Bengals. They play Kansas City and the Bengals at home. They go to Philly and Baltimore.
Woo. Okay. Okay. So I don't know. So who you got going to Super Bowl, Coach?
Man, I don't. I hate it, but they gonna put Mahomes back in there.
I don't think they're gonna put him in this year. I think they're gonna lose this year.
I hope so. Like, and it's just like I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not a fan of dude. So no, I'm not a fan of dude. His wife's mother, their political stance, their views.
Right.
Don't really care. So yeah, I'm just gonna put that out there. Other than yeah, he's a great quarterback, but I don't. Yeah, that part. Yeah, you can miss me with all that, but he'll probably be. I think they. I think it's gonna be. I got Philly and Kansas City again.
You got Philly over Detroit?
Yeah.
Whoa. I don't know, man. Like
Detroit gonna lose at the most inopportune time.
ooh, but they I don't know, man. These dudes is dialed in. I saw something about their speech. The dude is talking about we ripping legs off or something like that of carcasses or whatever. I was like, each game is a quarter. Each quarter we ripping the leg off. We're gonna just keep ripping the legs off till we just eat the carcass. I was like, man, that's crazy. But the thing that make them so dangerous, man, they running game and their receiving game is top. And they defense is playing lights out. With that Zadarius Smith, stop it. That just made them even more dangerous.
I ain't gonna lie. The games that I seen him in, he hasn't made an impact.
I seen Thanksgiving he did. Thanksgiving he made an impact.
I watched that game. I mean, what did he do? I didn't see anything.
I think he had 2 sacks, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know.
If it wasn't sacks, it was tackle for losses.
I'll check that because I don't remember dude doing nothing special, man.
Oh man, because I remember seeing him crawling on his belly on one of his tackles. I think it was a sack, man. He was crawling on his belly, he jumped up. And I was like, okay, so Darius Smith is out there showing out right now. So I don't know, man. All right, so I'm going. I hate to even say that I'm gonna say this, but I think it's gonna be Seattle. No, let me stop. Hey, but people better pay attention, man. They slowly creeping up on people. They might be a problem. They finally starting to figure out how to play together. As long as Geno Smith can protect the ball, they looking like a team that y'all need to start worrying about. But as of right now, I'm going Detroit. I'm going Detroit. And maybe the Steelers, man. I hate to even say yes.
No.
Russ got that team playing, man.
Listen, man. Listen. No, coach. Listen. No. Listen. I'm gonna tell you like this. Russ got that. Russ is cooking against teams that are not.
That's
good.
true. That is true. They do. They have beaten a lot of losing teams.
Yes, and like I'm not gonna lie, even the game against the Browns, we gave them fit for the first damn near the first half of the game.
That's true.
Couldn't move the ball, 3 and outs. Without Pickens, he couldn't throw them little fade balls.
That's
It
true.
took them until like the third quarter to connect on that deep moon shot as they call it or whatever to
Right.
Scotty, what his name, Scotty Foster, the white dude, I forgot his name. Um, it took them that long, and then they took another one to Mike Williams. Other than that,
That it is, yeah. So I don't know, man. The AFC is so tight. I mean, I don't want Kansas City going again. I'm tired of Kansas City going to the Super Bowl. I'm tired of
it ain't gonna
Patrick
be the
Mahomes. You say
Steelers.
what?
So it ain't gonna be the Steelers, coach.
Hey, trust me, man. You know I don't want to say I don't want it to be Pittsburgh, but I just think certain teams figure certain things out at the right time. And with their lineage, that's the only reason why Tomlin gonna have his boys ready. Um, like Baltimore scares me because I know what they do. If they have to face Kansas City in the AFC Championship game, they always change their game plan.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar's trying to do too much. I understand they got Derrick Henry, but he's kind of been obsolete the last couple of weeks because people are keying in on him and shutting him down. So it's making them look a little questionable. You get what I'm saying? Like they're still beating teams, yeah. But y'all just played Philly. And it came down to a nail biter, and y'all still lost that one. So it's like, are y'all still able to get over that hump with the top teams right now? And that's kind of bothersome. So I'm gonna go Detroit Buffalo. That's my pick. Detroit Buffalo. And everybody's sleeping on the Vikings too. Don't get me twisted. Don't get it twisted. The Vikings are tough. The Vikings are really tough. And they've pushed Detroit to the brink. So you can't sleep on them either. The Vikings is the sleeper team.
Mm-hmm.
You said
No, I mean like I'm saying like I'm trying to see Detroit, but I can't see them there.
That running attack is too dangerous. And when they don't go to the running attack, they go to the pass, and that's dangerous.
Coach, I watched them play like they're a very solid team. But my thing is this is like you always got that good team that's just wrecking the league and doing stuff and doing stuff and doing stuff. And they always just play that one. They
Terrible
always play
game.
their worst game at the wrong time.
That's Kansas City this year.
That's Kansas City, yes. So that my thing is this. They already I think they already played their worst game.
I don't think so because they've been skating by the last couple of weeks, coach. Field goals. They ain't not outright beating teams.
To me, that ain't okay. That's Kansas City. Let me say that. That's Kansas City to you. To me, that's Detroit to me because Detroit just been whooping everybody's butt handily.
Right.
So to me, it's Detroit because, like I said, just based off of that, you just been killing everybody handily. And I think at the worst time, at the worst, most inopportune time, they're gonna play or have their worst game that they can't come out of. Now, I just hope, put it this way, I don't want to be in the playoffs, but the way it's going to be in the playoffs. Because I'm not counting those games when they rest their veterans and they stars and all that stuff. That games don't count.
Hey, let it be against the Seahawks. Let the Seahawks be the team that knock them off.
I knew you was
that Hey, man. Hey, let's go ahead. We got to move on, coach, because we running out of time fast. We're going to go ahead and move to week, week 13 or 14? This 14? I think I got the wrong week now. It's week 14, isn't it?
I think so. Let's see.
I think it is. Let me switch that up real quick. So, week 14 in the NFL. Any surprises to you?
I ain't gonna lie. Nope. Everybody did what they were supposed to do. Like, I don't think. No, I'm trying to think of any games that I was like, wow, that kind of threw me for a loop. So let me see. Oh, the Tennessee Jaguars game
was terrible.
Terrible, but at least I had waste of time.
Yes.
What else?
Detroit and Green Bay was a good game.
Yeah, Detroit and Green Bay was a good game. I wanted Green Bay to win though.
Yeah, that was a really good game.
Josh Jacobs did his thing as usual.
Yeah, he did. He brought me in big points this week for my fantasy.
Yeah, and man, real quick, that I remember during the NFL draft, I kept hearing about this receiver. Puka Nacua. I looked into this dude, coach, and I'm like, man, the Browns should draft him. I started drafting him in my fantasy. Oh my God, this dude is nasty.
I had a chance to get him. He was still injured. And I was like, I don't know what he's going to be like. It's a knee injury. Man, that was one of the worst losses I decided not to take. I could have took that dude and would have been crushing teams. But, I mean, it is what it is. But, yes, Puka Nacua is dope. Dope. Hands down, dope. A star.
Yes.
Amazing. And honestly, a one-man wrecking machine, truth be told.
Coach, you know how I knew how I figured out when he was a star? This is how I knew. The last game when he caught that screen pass, you know who was blocking for him on that screen pass?
The quarterback?
No, Cooper Kupp.
Oh, yeah.
The one times the previous star receiver, they had Cooper Kupp blocking for him. Usually be the other way around.
Right. Yeah.
No, that's like I'm sitting up here like, yeah, you the man now because you got the former number one receiver blocking for you.
Yeah. What about the Vikings and the Falcons? Vikings look tough. Look tough, man. They put up 40 easy.
They look tough when they know to get the ball to Justin Jefferson.
And Addison. Addison is doing his thing too.
Yeah, like you got two dog receivers, like get them the ball.
And a tight end. They got two receivers and a tight end and Adam Jones in the backfield, man. So they got a squad. They definitely got a squad. I'm telling you, they're a sleeper team.
They had a squad, but my thing was, what was their little? I guess they had to hit that little lull for a little bit where they were just not doing nothing. I think they only
lost 2 games. They always
was it because Sam Darnold was hurt or did he get hurt?
I think it was hurt and fatigue. Truth be told, I just think it was hurt and fatigue. They was pounding out some football. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But now it's playoff crunch, and they trying to make sure they ink they spot in there because they 11-2. They got beat by. I know Detroit beat them once, and I don't remember who else is the other team that beat them. It might have been Carolina or somebody stupid that they really just like slacked on, and then they turned around and was like, "Oh, we got to figure this out." And then they came back and they've been balling ever since.
I think it was Carolina that beat them, and they was like, "No, we ain't about to do this no more."
Yeah. And then Carolina gave Philly problems this week, and that's Bryce Young is figuring it out, coach. We keep talking about it. He like, now I got this game figured out. Now I know how to play this game. He looking good. Carolina gonna be a sleeper team next year.
Yeah, it's. I'm glad that they didn't trade the young man. I'm glad that they sat him down and they brought him back.
Yep.
Helped him build some confidence in himself. I'm glad he out there playing a lot better.
Yeah.
I still think he need to go ahead and put on about 15 to 20 more pounds, but you know what I'm saying? Other than that, he doing his thing. I'm happy for him.
My Seahawks made a statement this week against Arizona. I kind of like that one. That was a good game.
Yeah, they popped the court on Charbonnet.
Yeah, exactly.
Charbonnet.
So they let him eat. So if they get Walker back, that's going to be a 2-headed monster like Detroit. That could be a problem. So
I think that's what they was going for, man. Because I remember one time, I forgot who it was. They was like, why they keep giving the ball to Charbonnet and they got Kenneth Walker back there? But I think that's what they was trying to go for. But
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah, I think it's there. So I don't know, man. It was some pretty good, decent games this week, but we had the end of the season. Some teams are just going through the motions. Some teams are getting ready for the playoffs. So I guess we're gonna see how it goes come, you know what I'm saying, in the next couple of weeks, next 4 weeks.
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's move on to college ball, man. Did the playoff committee get it right with the playoff bracket? Now, my biggest argument was Alabama did not deserve to be in the playoffs. No 9-3 team deserved to be in the playoffs except for Clemson because they won the ACC championship. And people were talking about Alabama should get in over SMU. I was like, no, because I'm all about best football. I don't care what your record is what determines you getting into the playoffs. I don't care about who you played because who you played ain't who I played, and that still don't make you better than me. It just means that you got a different program you play with. But SMU showed everybody they belonged in the playoffs. They showed everybody that they should have won that game if it wasn't for that kickoff return at the end of the game. They're for real, man, and they deserve to be in over Alabama. Now, I was mad that Miami didn't get in, but how do you justify kicking out Arizona State for a Miami team that didn't play in the championship game? You get what I'm saying? And I'm a Hurricanes fan, but all I know is if Alabama was going to be in the playoffs, you was about to break the playoff system instantly.
I still think that they got it wrong.
Really?
In a sense, yeah, because I'll say this. It got a little bit of one of the dudes on their award manual. You kind of see his fingerprints on there as far as when it goes to Ohio State.
Okay.
I say they put them in like they got one of the hardest ways to get to the championship.
Who is
possibly that? Ohio State. They played Tennessee. No, listen. They played Tennessee. If they beat Tennessee, they go on to play Oregon, which is the number one team. Possibly, if they beat Oregon, then they have to play either Georgia or Texas.
Nah, if they beat Oregon, they go on to play the winner of Arizona State and Texas or Clemson.
Okay, so let's go. Let's just say that's Texas. That right there. That's gonna be Texas. Okay. Now, I look at it this way. As far as Ohio State, I would think that it should have been ranked a little bit higher. Even because, Penn State played in the Big Ten championship, but Ohio State beat Penn State.
That's true, but Penn State played in the championship. That's the problem.
Yeah, but
Ohio State lost to a 6-5 Michigan. That's why they
I get it. I get it. I get it in that mindset. You know what I'm saying? I understand that, but I still think they got the hardest route to go to get to the championship out of any other team.
Yeah.
When you look at it.
I don't know. I mean, I think everybody got challenges, truth be told. If Ohio State handles their business, they'll beat Tennessee. If they handle their business, they'll get revenge on Oregon. And I tell you this, if Ohio State don't win in the first round, Ryan Day is fired.
Yeah, and here comes Urban Legend.
You think he coming back?
Man, listen, Urban Legend to be back, man. I'm telling you. I don't put it this way. He'll be back, and if he comes back, he's gonna have like a star-studded cast of coaches to help him out.
Most definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Like I see like maybe a Charles Bentley there.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. Like I see Urban coming back at some point, but my only question is, like, I ask people this question even on Facebook, like, one, if he comes back, like, I feel like my question is this: has the game moved past them, changed? You know what I'm saying? Because when Urban was coaching, you could do whatever you want to these kids, you know what I'm saying, type of thing. They ain't had really no power. Now they got power in the transfer portal. They got power in NIL deals. Yep. They got power. Some of them kids is making more money than some of these head coaches.
That is true. That is
You know what
true.
I'm saying? So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like I looked at like, dude, the lineman at Colorado, dude, I think Shador or somebody, or he got him or whatever, dude riding around in the Maybach, man. Like these is 18, 19-year-old in living good.
Big time money. Big
Yes.
time money. Millionaires in college already.
Millionaires.
Yeah.
And then coach is trickling down to the high school because some high schools are now rumored to have, you know, them kids with NIL deals in high school.
In Texas. They said in Texas
Yeah,
it's happening. So yeah, I get it.
man.
But all right. Well, let's go ahead and move on, coach, because we're rounding down. We had 10 minutes in. We had 10 minutes left. The Cavs are still number one. I'm loving it, but can they sustain it?
I will say that it's always injuries with the Cavs.
Okay.
It's always injuries. If they can ride this out, like I wouldn't say injury free, but with minimal long injuries, like I ain't talking about no player less than missing like 2-3 months. I'm talking like maybe like 2 to 4 weeks or whatever. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Anything past that, that's when they start. That's when they kind of start falling apart. You know what I'm saying? Injuries is a key, and then I know at some point they're gonna make a trade, but they're gonna have to add the right piece, or they gonna give up the wrong piece to add what they think is the right piece.
Right. I'm wondering, you know what I've been wondering is what made the Cavs decide they wanted to play for this coach and not the last coach? Because we got
Ooh.
basically the same players, so what's the difference?
Different offensive scheme. They came in and said they made Evan Mobley the number one option in the offense. So that's the thing. You see the ball in his hands more. He's going full court more.
Yeah.
Shoot, the other game I think he had 41, and he had like I think I watched him in the first quarter. I think he had like 5 3-pointers.
Yeah, I've noticed that he added that to his game. I've noticed
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So
But
I think that's what it is, man. And then I ain't gonna lie, man. We all know, man. JB, when he came down in them rotations, it was like, come on, my dude. The rotations was horrible. I think they just lost confidence in him.
that could be. Maybe he was one of those guys that wasn't trying to listen to his players who was like, look, coach, if we did this, this will work.
Mm-hmm.
He probably was an ego person, you know what I'm saying? And was like, no, I ain't doing that. And that's the reason why you got the result you ended up getting. So,
hey, man. JB fine. JB got him a job in Detroit. He all right.
exactly. He chilling. So,
Okay, he just moved on up the street.
He said up the street. Was it
That's
Teton?
it.
Teton. That
Yeah.
team up north. That's what he did.
That's
Hey,
all he did.
so all right, man. You know what time it is. It's our favorite time of the podcast. Get it off your chest, coach. I'm gonna let you go first.
All right, I haven't been meaning to talk about this, but since I'm happy that we have this moment right now to talk about this. Mr. Aubrey Drake Graham and your light skin Karen behavior. Man, listen, man. I don't know what dude is thinking, man. You don't sue nobody. I don't care what you trying to. You got different people in the circle coming out and saying, no, this is it's what we perceive it as it is, and it seems like even though you're like on paperwork, you're not suing Kendrick Lamar, but that's what it seems to be, bro.
And you
Can't
snitching on the
explain.
hip hop game. And you telling on the
Yeah,
hip hop game.
you telling on something that you benefited from that your own company probably did for you.
Yep.
Because at the time of the point, you was on every Spotify list, just like how Kendrick was on every Spotify list.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So you can't really tell on something that you benefited off at one point in time in your life. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You lost. Move on. I agree with what Charlamagne said. You should have just went. You should have just took a break, went on vacation, did some shit, did some traveling, let some time pass, and then
Yep.
came back and then dropped a fire ass album.
Then people would
That's
have
what you
been
should have
loving you.
did.
Then people would have been
You would have
loving you
been,
all over again.
but now you done went full blown Karen
Yep.
and called for the manager. Like, dude, you gotta stop, man. You're not. That's not culture. You're not winning. That's some culture vulture shit, and you gotta stop, man. Disappointed you, Mr. Aubrey Drake, Karen. Disappointed. That's all I gotta say, man.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna keep it hip hop also. So a lot of y'all know I do music, or I used to do music. A lot of y'all know there was a point of time that my company signed a distribution deal with Rock Nation. Mr. Sean Jay-Z Carter, you are now being accused of graping, because I got TikTok going on over here, of graping a 13-year-old with Mr. Sean Diddy Combs.
The diddler.
And I'm just gonna say, I honestly believe these accusations. One, they claim that they got a lot of proof to prove it. That's one. Two, I believe it. And the reason why I believe it is because I remember back in the days when I was trying to sign with like Def Jam and all of that other stuff. You still get invited to things, you learn things, you see things, but it's a story that everybody seems to know by now. If you don't know by now, Foxy Brown was an artist signed working with Jay-Z. Jay-Z was allegedly sleeping with Foxy Brown, which, watch my face, y'all, I know it was taking place. Foxy Brown and Jay-Z were sleeping together. She was 16 years old. He was like 25. Don't tell me that there's no possibility that this other story is not credible. All of these dudes in hip hop are weird at some point in time. They're weird ass dudes who couldn't get girls, who got some money behind them. They was ugly dudes. They was this, that, and the other, and they ended up getting some money, and they were able to pull. Like it was fascinating to these young girls. These women, like, this dude's a creep. This dude is ugly. I don't care how much money he got. And if you sit back and you look at it, there's always young girls that age, 16, 17, passing through that whole group of people. Little Kim was a young chick when she was messing with Big. R. Kelly, Aaliyah, you know what I'm saying? It was always young chicks that was passing through these groups. They just made them look like grown women or whatever the deal was. But come on, man. Y'all cannot be foolish. You cannot be stupid. You cannot be uneducated. These dudes from New York to California in the hip hop game have a fetish for young kids, young women. I'm not saying all of them, but there's a group of people, and it's usually the big money people who are cool with messing with these people. And a lot of people don't understand is that in Hollywood, a lot of people don't know this, but the age of consent, if I'm not mistaken, I've seen it somewhere, is 10 years old, which in California, the age of consent, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's either 10 or 12 years old. That's why you don't hear about these people getting reported and stuff in California, because they know what the rule is. That's why all these kids are all jacked up when they become adults, because that rule allowed that stuff to happen to them. They knew they couldn't get in trouble for it. These kids are like, I know something is wrong and I can't do or say anything about it. Meanwhile, my parents are collecting checks off of me and I'm turning around and I'm screwed up as an adult. If you look at all of them former Disney stars and stuff, all of them former Disney stars that have grown up to be adults, and look at them. They're all weird. Faces are tatted up. They adult film stars. They're like the people you would never even think of. You will sit there and be like, that's who? So So I'm getting this off my chest, man. Yes, do not be surprised by the Jay-Z accusation. Don't ever sit back and question anything at a Diddy party, because I've been to hip hop parties. I've never been to a Diddy party, but I've been to a hip hop party, a couple of them, and I know how that shit rock. It made me feel uncomfortable being there, to the point where I'm like, yeah, I want to leave. So I'm telling y'all, don't be fooled by any of these accusations. Don't sit back and be like, nah, he got all his money. Insecurity inside himself, he's still a weak individual, and he's doing it. He even got proof that Mary J. Blige was banging a 15-year-old dude and flying him out on a jet when she was 26 years old just to come and have sex with her. So do not be fooled by any of it. These dudes all got some type of young kid fetish. Young kid fetish. And I would look at these guys like they was crazy. Looking at them like, dude, they young. Like, what are y'all doing? So I'm telling you, man, that's where I'm ending it at, coach. That's where I'm gonna land my plane at. Don't be fooled by none of this shit. But we had just reached the end of our show. And so I gotta say it because I didn't say it at the beginning. But let's get to the facts. It's sponsored by OPM Clothing Line, the original bonus, and No More Struggling Entertainment. This has been another great hour with you, Coach. I love doing this with you.
Yes, sir.
Great time doing this, man. And as always, I appreciate everybody who tunes in and watches. You know, you guys are just helping us grow. TikTok, we're growing. We just need our YouTube numbers to grow, people.
Yes, man. Subscribe
out on YouTube. We get all of the plays and stuff on Facebook, Instagram, or whatever, but we need y'all to help us out on YouTube. So if you can, click and subscribe when I post the links. Just join in, man, and help us grow. But
yes, sir.
As always, Coach, it's a pleasure, man.
Always.
And you know, we love doing this with y'all, and we'll look forward to seeing y'all next week. All right, y'all. Peace.
Yes, sir. Peace.
All right, Coach.